Hi, welcome to Chef's Corner. I'm Chef Shelley. Today we are going to focus on the technique of pickling, and our pickling specimen is going to be these large green orbs that we've all been receiving in our CSA baskets weekly. So kohlrabi is a tuber, and it's in the same family as cabbage and broccoli and Brussels sprouts. And if you peel away the green exterior, the inside flesh is really crunchy and it's slightly sweet and really flavorful. Please don't send them back. Don't put them in the trade basket and send them back with your hosts. Love your kohlrabi. This is going to be a great experience on how to use the kohlrabi that you're getting. Okay, so the great thing about kohlrabi is that it really enjoys a lot of different cooking techniques. So you could saute this, you can roast it, you can cut it up and put it into a vegetable soup. It's great raw on salad. Seriously, just, grate it and put it onto your salad. And it's awesome as part of a crudité. Make sticks and use it as a dip with hummus or roasted eggplant or something like that. So the nice thing about kohlrabi being so mild in flavor is that it makes an awesome pickle. And pickling is a preservation technique whereby we thinly slice or we grate a vegetable or a fruit, put it into a container, and then we pour a hot vinegary brine over the top. The main component of making a pickle is what we call the brine. And that's where we are able to add seasonings and flavorings that we like and tailor it to our own tastes. The most important thing about the brine, however, is that you want to make sure that you have the appropriate ratio of vinegar to water, because the vinegar is what's going to help preserve the vegetables in the refrigerator. I'm going to tell you that I use a brining ratio as follows. I use equal parts water and vinegar. The vinegar is usually white wine vinegar, cider vinegar, or red wine vinegar. And for every 4 cups of liquid, I put in 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. Other than that, the sky is the limit. So if you want to put in curry powder, or if you want to put in rosemary or thyme sprigs, or garlic or crushed red pepper, anything into that brine to infuse it with flavor that you like, cinnamon sticks, you can go ahead and add to that brine. You just want to make sure that the vinegar and the water is a good ratio. Sometimes I will say though, if I wanted a little less vinegary, I might add a tad less vinegar. But you really want to stay in that range of equal parts vinegar and water. Okay, so for the brine for today, I've made a red wine vinegar brine. So red wine vinegar and water, equal parts. And then, of course, the salt. That's always your foundation. And then I'm adding a number of different seasonings. I'm adding some crushed red pepper for a little bit of spice, some ginger that I finely chopped, some garlic that I finely minced, and then a little bit of star anise, which is a beautiful Asian spice. It's actually a flower from a tree and has a little bit of a sweet licorice sort of scent and flavor. Delicious. So here we have our brine on the stove, and while that's coming up to a simmer, I'm going to jump in and prepare the kohlrabi. We want to trim both the stem end and the root end off. So we trim the stem end off, and that comes off really nice and easily. And then we turn it around and we go to trim the root end. The root end is a little bit more challenging because it's very dense at the bottom of the root. So I put my knife in and I try and cut through. I can't do it. So I move up a little bit more. I still can't do it. I move up a little bit more. Now I can cut through. Now we're going to peel it. But because this is a fairly hardy vegetable, we can't use the peeler. So we're going to use our knife. So now we have flat surface, and we're going to take our knife and run it along the outside of the kohlrabi, maintaining the curve. So I don't want to just cut straight down like this, right here, like this, because I would be losing all that kohlrabi, right? So I'm going to use my knife and curve it around so that I can keep as much kohlrabi as possible, removing the skin. Once we've removed most of the skin, then you can go back and see, oh, are there any more green spots? I'll just trim those with my knife, get those out of the way, turn it over. Look how nice and clean that is. Beautiful, and then I still have my stem here. I'm going to cut the kohlrabi in half and then in quarters, and then I can trim off that stem. So to prepare them for pickling, you can slice them thinly and layer them in a jar. But keep in mind that the smaller you cut the vegetable that you're pickling, the faster it's going to pickle. So I chose to do like a slaw of the kohlrabi, and I just put these pieces into my food processor with the grater attachment. And I made this nice slaw here. And we're going to pack the kohlrabi into the jar. And you can pack it fairly firmly, but we want to leave about a 1-inch headspace at the top of the jar. It's usually right by where the rings start on these jars. And then I chose to put a little star anise at the very top of my jar here. And then I take my hot broth and ladle it over the top. Take a clean lid and ring, just like this. Let it sit out at room temperature until it's cool, and then it gets stored in the refrigerator. And these can last in the refrigerator for, I would say, 6 to 9 months. So now that we have our kohlrabi pickle, what in the world are we going to do with it? These are great pantry items. These are awesome items to have on hand when you need to add a boost of flavor or you want to add a different unique element to something that you're cooking or something that you're serving. So some examples would be, these make great accompaniments to meats, turkey, duck, some of those richer, even a rich fish like salmon. The pickle kind of cleanses the palate a little bit, so it's a really nice accompaniment to the holiday table. For our hot dog fans out there, this kohlrabi pickle makes an excellent substitution for sauerkraut. And it's delicious if you just want to fold it into a grain salad or even a green salad. It adds ultimate tanginess and deliciousness to those salads. They're also great for your cheese plate. Delicious with a little bit of goat cheese or some nice brie and some toast. It's really nice. And I really like to use these kohlrabi pickles on my lettuce wraps. So I've done that demonstration on that recipe with Grant Family Farms and the Denver Public Library last year. We'll provide you a link for that. And these are great just on top of the lettuce wraps. Adds a great tang. And you see these beautiful jars, put a bow on it, they make awesome gifts. It's gorgeous. Think about things that you want to pickle. Now we're still getting beets. Beets make an awesome pickle. Slice them thinly, make a nice vinegary broth like we did, flavor it with things that you like, and store them in the refrigerator. And then next season, think about pickling your green beans, your zucchini, and your garlic scapes. Garlic scapes and green beans make unique Bloody Mary garnishes. So if you want more tips, tricks, and techniques, visit our website at kitchencue.com. Have a great holiday season, and I'll see you in the kitchen.